Hi everyone, haven't done a video in a while. I've had a lot of comments and a lot of questions lately. Sorry if I didn't answer your question. I'm usually pretty good about it, but I've been pretty busy lately. So every time I walk into the hobby shop, I look at everything and I find myself staring at the drones, but I really don't know what I'm looking at. So I called up a friend. I'm not going to mention his name. Emil Wilkens. We'll just call him Drone Master Flex. I said, hey man, I'm a beginner. What drone do I buy? And he said, Mini2 or Mavic Air 2. I looked those up, looked at them online, and I wasn't really impressed. So I talked to him again, and I said, hey man, don't I want one of those great big ones, you know, like a Phantom or something like that? And he gave me some really good advice and basically said, don't spend that much money on something you may or may not like. So, great advice. I always try to make my YouTube channel better, even if it's just by a little bit. You know, the behind the scenes stuff you don't get to see. So I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, I could use a new laptop. My laptop's kind of dated. I could use a new GoPro. My GoPro's getting kind of old. So I go to the store, I go look at laptops, I go look at GoPros, and for 50 bucks more than a GoPro, I bought this. It's a DJI Mini2. The selling point for this thing for me was it's 249 grams. On these drones, if they're over 250 grams, you're supposed to register them, which it's only like $5 to register. It's not that big of a deal, but that was kind of the selling point for me, that I didn't have to do that. Haven't done much RCing lately. Just water's been pretty bad, and just over the last couple of weeks the water got a little bit better, but I've been pretty busy. This is about the only thing I've been able to use lately, and the simple reason is, you know, I can just go in my backyard and fly the thing. I didn't buy it for as an RC. I didn't buy it to have fun with. I bought it because it's a camera. I bought it so I could use it to film, just to have an additional item that I could film with. I'm super impressed with this thing. It's small, and I figured it would just get blown around in the wind. And I've had this thing in the wind. Of course, everything has its limits, but I've had this thing in the wind where it was sideways like this, and it was handling the wind, kind of fighting it a little bit. But it does really well for its size. It flies very well. I've had it for over 4 months. I haven't crashed it yet. It has way more features than what I'm ever going to use, and it has a fantastic camera. Of course, I had to speed test it, so we speed tested this thing. It's not very fast, but I'll tell you, it's faster going through the air than what I could handle at this point. It does have an internal GPS. I put an external GPS on top of it just to make sure, and both of them were exactly the same. Unfortunately, with that footage, I'm so used to using the GoPro that I forgot to hit record on the drone. So I'll show you a little clip of the GPS test from the GoPro. Really, that footage was kind of boring. It was just me flying over a parking lot. So I'm also going to include a local flight that I did with it, and I'm going to include another flight that I did in the same place where I drove the Zelos 48. So Zelos 48 in Lake 'Michigan. This air footage from the drone is the exact same place. If you haven't seen that video of the zelos, I'm going to put a link of that video in the description. But super impressed with this thing. Just a phenomenal piece. I figured it's gonna fall out of the sky in really 4 months, and it's been doing great. So here are those clips. So I've seen 36 out of on the screen on the internal. And 36 mile an hour on the onboard. 36.3.